Welcome to the Living Sanctuary podcast, where we explore the invisible laws of nature that shape our visible worlds, one root system at a time. I'm your host, Dr. Candice Nadine Breen. Welcome, everyone, to our very first episode of the Living Sanctuary podcast. I know some of you out there may be thinking, hey, I recognize that name. Well, guess what? You do. In the past, I have had two other podcasts. Now, in 2009, I began the very popular podcast called the Candidly Candice Radio Show. And with that podcast, we had a lot of different women on the show, one of which was the late Nikki Giovanni. That was an amazing episode. It was an amazing experience. I also talked to her even before the podcast. She actually herself called my cell phone and we had a chat. It was a wonderful experience. And then we had the show a couple of days later. So it was great. I reached out to her person and she personally called me. It was great. Anyway, I had that podcast. It was great. We had different poets, female poets on the show as well. We had a little section with that. And we also had a pet peeve section. It was a fun show and it was a memorable show. And I loved it. It was on the Blog Talk Radio platform. So if you have access to it, it's probably there in the archives. So you could probably listen to it. I also had another podcast called Magic and Medicine, and it was on right here using this platform on Podbean. And that was a great show as well. So let's get one thing out of the way before we begin today's show. What is metaphysics? That's what I have my doctorate in. And some people may be wondering, what on earth is metaphysics? So let me tell you what it is so you can understand. And so when you see me next time, you know what it is. So, metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that studies how the universe works at its deepest level. While regular science looks at the physical things we can see and touch, metaphysics explores the underlying principles behind them, like the nature of reality, existence, time, and consciousness. What does all that mean? So, put simply, science asks the how, but metaphysics asks the why. So, that is my most concise definition I could give you about metaphysics and what I have my doctorate in. Now, how does that relate to the botanical world? Because many of you know that I am the owner and founder of C&B Plants and Gifts that's located in Riverside, Rhode Island. So, in regards to the botanical aspect of metaphysics, think of a plant. Science looks at the physical leaves, the soil chemistry, and the cell structure under a microscope. Metaphysics is interested in the invisible life force itself, like what makes it grow, the concept of space it occupies, and the deeper connection between the plant and the person caring for it. So, botanical metaphysics is the study of the invisible laws that shape our visible world. Got it? All right, good. So let's continue. This podcast, this Living Sanctuary podcast, was born out of a very deep, real world understanding of what it means to build a sanctuary when the outside world gets too loud. Now, we've all walked through seasons of intense transition, myself included, heavy stress, and moments where our trust has been tested. But nature teaches us an undeniable truth about resilience. Resilience. Even in the darkest soil, a root system is constantly working, restructuring, and preparing to rise back into the light. So, on this show, and again, this is our introductory podcast. There's no guest on this show, but there will be on the next one. So, this is just an introduction. But on this show, we are going to bridge the gap between botanical science and emotional wellness. So, over the coming weeks, we'll be sitting down with top tier environmental psychologists, master soil biologists, and innovators to give you the precise tools to cultivate peace in your homes and in your minds. But today, I want to start with the foundations. I want to talk about the physics of space. When I style a room or guide a workshop at my tables in my shop, I like to tell my clients that your physical environment directly mirrors your internal battery. So, what does that mean? If your space is cluttered, if your space is cluttered, and it does happen, sometimes we're not even aware of it, we're doing it, it happens. It has happened to me in the past, and it can happen to anyone. So, if your space is cluttered, or if you are keeping things around you that bring a heavy, unsupportive vibe, your energy will drop. It will. But when you bring in living art, clean oxygen, and green architectural elements into your perimeter, it's a declaration that you are reclaiming your peace. You're reclaiming your peace. And I don't have much more to say about that. So I encourage all of you to listen to our upcoming podcast. Again, this is just an introduction. It's short and it's brief. And all of the links that you'll need to websites to find us, all of that will be in the show notes, in the descriptions. Everything will link to everything else. So you'll get the full picture of this virtual podcast and the physical place where I do all the work. So before we close this podcast, this very first introductory podcast for this show, I want to invite you. I want to invite you to join our growing national community. We do have an online shop that sells things, that has things for you that are meant to foster peace and to nurture the relationship between you and the natural world. And if you go to our website, the physical website that has all things on it, it is called CNB Plants and Gifts. But the website is cbplantsgifts.com. That'll be in the show notes as well. There is a link to everything I say here, the podcast, the shop itself, the e-commerce, everything you need. And the workshops that are coming up, events, all of that stuff. So why not join our national community, be a part of it all? We have hand-packed seed kits, custom terrarium tool sets, all that stuff. And coast-to-coast delivery. You can live anywhere in the United States. And you can grab something, listen to this podcast, all of that great stuff. So if you want to dive deeper and meet me directly, we're going to have a premium VIP Sanctuary Circle online where I will facilitate monthly interactive videos, Zoom sessions, not just audio, video Zoom sessions to troubleshoot your plant care and to build our networks together. How's that sound? That sounds great. I know it does. So I want to thank you for listening to the Living Sanctuary podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode. In the meantime, keep your boundaries firm, your soil well aerated, and I will see you at the counter or at our next episode. Be well.